Last week in PPL Bolt, we took on our biggest, longest standing rival in the format, Shroom Raver and the Parasect Shemaine, and we managed to clutch out a big 3-0 victory, putting the game on the back of Anna Taylor-Joy, the King Gambit. However, this week is going to be a different story. We are up against Gentleman Thomas and the Copenhagen Gallades, who has a very fierce team that involves some very hard-hitting Pokemon. Now, I'm a little bit worried for this game. Thomas is currently top of the SPL as the recording of this video and has proven himself to be an incredibly fierce opponent who is very capable of reading game states and pulling off some very important double switches. However, I'm not one of the best at this generation for nothing, and I have got to be at my absolute best to give this incredible behemoth of a player a good game. Will we be able to take down one of SPL's finest, or will we get bowled over by the competition? It's time to find out. Welcome to Week 3 of PPL Bolt. Now, if you want to skip straight forward to the battle, feel free to do so using the timestamp on screen or the timestamp in the timeline section of the video, literally at the bottom of your screen. But if you want to stick around and find out exactly what I'm bringing to this crazy game, feel free to basically just stick around because we're going to get into it in just a moment. And the matchup will appear on screen right about now. And as you can see, ouch, this is not a nice team for me to be coming up against. There are a few Pokemon on my opponent's team that just straight up 2-hit KO absolutely everything I can bring here. For example, Lycanroc with the Life Orb is one of the biggest threats I've ever seen in my life. I do not have anything that wants to switch into a Life Orb Lycanroc at all. The best I have is Gabite, who is a Gabite, so that's that. Also, Thunderous Therian is a massive threat. Iron Bundle threatens to 2-hit KO absolutely everything on my team, barring Volcanion. And Great Tusk is Great Tusk. Also, that Wheezing is a pain. The Goodra stands in the way of a lot of my offensive presence. And Gastrodon completely shuts down Regieleki. So, fun times all around for Mr. OnesieBanette. If we're going to win this game, we're going to have to rely on some unconventional strategies. And it's going to be a very fun time. So, let's get into it, shall we? Now, the first mon that's going to be coming to this game is going to be a bit of a win con for me. That's right, we're bringing Vivi the Sneasler. Now, Vivi is here for one reason only. She is here because she is basically a cleanup mon. If I'm able to weaken my opponent's Pokemon to the point where Vivi can just click buttons to win, she does exactly that. We've gone with Dire Claw, Close Combat, U-Turn, and Switcheroo on Vivi this week, with enough speed to outspeed anything that wants to try and come against me. Enough speed to outspeed everything in the speed tiers below, but with enough defense investment to try and live a hit from a Zarude Acrobatics, which is probably unlikely, but it is always a possibility. Vivi looks very good here. Dire Claw, Close Combat, U-Turn hit everything, and Switcheroo gives me the option to try and cripple something like Gastrodon or Goodra, should I need to do so. Vivi looks very good here, and hopefully she will be able to rip her way through the opposition. Now, the second mon that I am bringing to this game is going to be King Louis himself with a Leftovers Sword Stance Grassy Glide knockoff U-Turn set. And the reason we've gone with Rillaboom in this slot is because I really wanted to have an extra insurance against A, the Lycanroc, and B, to have extra insurance against the Iron Bundle, and Rillaboom was one of the only Pokemon on my team that gave me the opportunity to do just that. I've had to go physically defensive on Rillaboom this week with Adamant Nature, but with max investment into defense and HP. This optimizes the EVs that you get out of it, because the Adamant Nature gives a 10% boost to the highest stat, which gives me an extra 3 or 4 EVs after everything is calculated out properly. Now, the defensive investment allows me to take quite a few hits from the Lycanroc. It allows me to switch into Great Tusk in a pinch if I absolutely need to, and it does allow me to threaten quite a lot of Pokemon back out with Grassy Glide knockoff U-Turn, and obviously the Swords Dance to try and potentially steal an end game sweep. Now, this guy is going to struggle against quite a few of my opponent's defense. For example, Goodra basically just invalidates this thing, and a Wheezing does a hell of a lot of work against it because my best option to hit it is knockoff, which is Not ever a good idea. But I've had to bring King Louis like this week and make certain omissions to try and optimize its matchup against the offensive threats. Hopefully, if Wheezing does come, it's not going to come with a super physically defensive set. I believe that they probably need to bring a little bit of special attack investment just to make sure that they OHKO key specific threats, like VV, for example, the Sneasler. Psybeam can one-shot that thing with a bit of investment and do massive damage against things like Regieleki with Sludge Bomb and Strange Steam and things. So hopefully there won't be a massively physically offensive Wheezing in the way, but if there is, I can just U-turn away on it, and I've got the leftovers to keep myself a little bit more healthy. I'm basically healing like 12.5% health every turn, maybe a little bit more, and this was just a good bring, I thought. So King Louis is here to assert his authority all over my opponents. Now, Mon number 3 is going to be a bit of a fun Pokemon. Now, I'm bringing Ready the Regieleki, but I'm bringing Regieleki with no item. And this is actually the first time I'm ever doing this in my Draft League career, which is almost spanning a decade. That makes me incredibly sad. I feel very old. But yes, I'm bringing Ready the Regieleki with Acrobatics, Thunder Cage, Volt Switch, and Ancient Power this week. Now, this guy is able to hit absolutely everything on Thomas's team for massive, massive damage, barring the Gastrodon. But don't worry, I have a bit of a plan for that Gastrodon, so don't you fret. Now, Acrobatics deals with Great Tusk and does about 44 to 52% to it, which honestly, if I get enough chip, I can completely pick it off. I have enough speed to outrun a +1 Great Tusk, so if it goes for a Rapid Spin, I should be able to outspeed it. And I've got Acrobatics, Thunder Cage, Volt Switch, and Ancient Power. Ancient Power hits the Thundurus, Volt Switch helps me to keep momentum, and Thunder Cage, if I'm able to trap something and do a little bit damage extra per turn, it just felt like a good idea. And Thunder Cage is also going to it's going to synergize quite well with something that I'm bringing a little bit later. But I'll get onto that in just a moment. But for now, Regieleki is going to be Mon number 3 on this team, and hopefully he can zap my opponent into submission. Moving swiftly on, we have our good friend Vataloco, who is coming once again. Vataloco put up a very good performance against Padel week 1, but was benched for week 2, and this is going to be Vata's time to get a little bit more revenge. So we're bringing Vata this week with heavy duty boots because honestly, Stealth Rocks are so easy for my opponent to get up, but we've got Fire Spin, Steam Eruption, Fire Blast, and Protect with a modest max set with 228 investment into HP and 28 into speed. That speed investment just kind of ensures that there's no weird speed creeping shenanigans going on with Corviknight, because even if it runs like 12, 16 speed EVs to try and outspeed me, I'm running 28 myself. It just kind of ensures there's no weird kind of balance going on there. It makes me feel a little bit more secure about the matchup that way. Now, Fire Spin is an interesting bring here, and it's going to synergize quite well with one of my other Pokemon that I'm bringing here, and I have a game plan, which I will get to in just a moment. But all you need to know is that I've got Steam Eruption and Fire Blast because the coverage is very, very good here. It hits everything on Thomas's team except for the Gastrodon, which, let's be real, the only thing I would have had for Gastrodon would have been Solar Beam anyway, and that would have necessitated me bringing Power Herb or Sunny Day, which I was never going to do against this team, especially when it's got a Great Tusk that if I give a Photosynthesis boost to, it's just going to run absolutely riot. So I figured my best bet was to go with Steam Eruption and Fire Blast as the main attacking moves, and Protect just to do a little bit of scouting against a few of the other Pokemon. I do enjoy getting information as much as possible against certain opponents, and Thomas is one that I'm going to have to do just that for. It also helps me to get a bit of information about Iron Bundle, whether it's going to try and flip turn away on me, whether it's going for Ice Beam, whether it's going for Freeze Dry. It just seemed like a good idea. So yes, Vataloco is here, and hopefully they're going to erupt all over the competition. God, I still feel dirty saying that. Now, my next two Pokemon are going to be the stars of the show. We'll start with the one I'm putting the least amount of pressure on, and that is going to be Miles the Gabite, who's coming for the second week in a row. pretty fun stuff right here. Gabite actually has a lot better calculations and matchups in games than I actually expected to. I guess it's just the Garchomp factor. Being ground dragon is very good offensively, and it has some niche situational matchups against quite a few offensive electric types. So that's exactly what it's here for here. We're bringing Miles with a max HP, max defense set with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Dragon Tail, Body Slam. And the reason we're doing that is because Dragon Tail helps me to shuffle around some Pokemon like setting up Great Tusk, like a Nasty Plot Thunderous, which can't one-shot me in return, and it just helps with a lot of phasing out against quite a few of the other Pokemon. So yeah, just seemed like a good idea here. We've gone with Terra Ground because this guy is going to be my designated Lycanroc switch-in. If Lycanroc shows, I just go Miles every single time. Get up my Terra Ground so I get out of my Dragon type, and then I switch in every single time and get momentum that way. Cause a little bit of chip on it with my Rough Skin, get up some rocks, click Earthquake, Dragon Tail, or try and spread some paralysis with Body Slam. There we go. That's it. Bob's your uncle, job's a good one. Terra Earthquake still hits very hard. Hopefully I won't have to click it here, but if I do, it's still going to do quite a significant chunk to quite a lot of my opponent's threats. So yes, Miles is here to switch into Thunderous and to Lycanroc and hopefully do absolutely nothing else. Hopefully he's going to do a very good job here, but if not, that's fine. He's only here for a very specific job, and if that doesn't happen, or if the Lycanroc doesn't show, Miles will be expendable. Hopefully he can get up rocks, maybe not, but either way, I love this guy, and I hope he can take a Gabite out of the opposition. And the last Pokemon I'm bringing is going to be the one that ties the entire squad together, because at the moment, I'm a little bit disjointed in this team build. I don't have anything for Gastrodon outside of King Louie. I don't have anything for Goodra really outside of potentially hitting it quite hard with Vivi. So I have a plan. And that plan right here is to bring, for the first time, making her debut, Mur the Gothorita. And yes, I did try to pronounce that in the Danish way. I'm sorry, Thomas. I'm sorry, Frosted. Please don't kill me. But yes, we're bringing Mur with Shadow Tag, Eviolite, Energy Ball, Nasty Plot, Psyshock, Rest. And this set is very particular. I really should have nicknamed it Liam Neeson because it has a very particular set of skills. It will find you, and it will kill you. So the move set here is Energy Ball, Nasty Plot, Psyshock, Rest, and the EVs are very specific. They are very specific because they allow me to switch into a Draco Meteor from Goodra and proceed to set up all over it and 1v1 it. My plan, you noticed that I have brought a couple of trapping moves on this team. I have Thunder Cage with Regieleki, I have Fire Spin with Volcanion. Volcanion is probably going to be the one that assists this strategy quite a lot, because Volcanion, the two biggest switch-ins on my opponent's team to Volcanion, are Goodra and Gastrodon. One of those switches in every single time, and depending on which one it is, I trap it with Fire Spin on the switch-in, do a little bit of damage with the trapping ability, then go hard out into Gothorita, ensuring that no double switching can happen, because I know Thomas. Thomas does a lot of double switches, and this is one of those games where there could be quite a few happening here. So I'm eliminating that completely. If I'm able to trap the Gastrodon, I can eliminate it immediately by going hard out into Mur, nasty plotting, and one-shotting it with Energy Ball. And that to me is friggin' amazing. That is the plan. Hopefully Gothorita can do a lot of damage against Gastrodon. Hopefully it gets a little bit of damage away on Goodra. Hopefully it takes a hit. Hopefully it's just able to slaughter my opponent's backline. Gothorita's here to trap the defensive Pokemon and force them to basically 1v1 it. It wants to ensure damage on the bulky Pokemon to ensure the likes of Volcanion can go crazy later. And that is basically what it's here for. It's a very situational use, I understand, but I'm up against a great player with a great team. I have to be incredibly careful, otherwise I'm in a lot of trouble. But that right there is going to be the squad, and let me know what you think of it. Let me know if you think I've made a terrible mistake by bringing these two NFEs, or let me know if you think that I'm a madman and a genius. I know I am, but I just appreciate validation. But that is the team we are bringing against Thomas, and hopefully it's going to put in a hell of a lot of work. So let's see what happened when the Solihull Skarmours took on the Copenhagen Gallades. Let's freaking go! Hello, PPL fans of the Solihull Scarmores, and welcome to yet another PPL Bolt game. This week, well, I'll say this week, this game is approximately a week late. Not due to anyone's fault, really. I was due to play Frosted, but unfortunately, she had to drop. As unfortunate life things, we wish her nothing but the best. But we have a very cool replacement in Gentleman Thomas, who is a person I've not been able to play before, but has been absolutely killing it in SPL, and is a very competent and capable battler. Now, I've gone a little bit unconventional with my build this week, as you probably saw by the team builder, and that's resulted in a little bit of craziness. In fact, I think for probably the first time in my entire career, I'm bringing a Pokemon that isn't like holding an item. And I'm doing it intentionally. Oh, dearie me. But yes, Thomas is a very, very talented guy, a very, very, interesting battler, and it's going to be very, very tough for me to beat him this week because I don't have the matchup and he has all of the threats. I think I've got enough checks to deal with the majority of his strong offense, but I am gonna be very easy to wear down through hazards and such here. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. We've got some cool tech, we've got some fun mons, and hopefully this is going to go well for us. But if not, it's fine. I'm fine. I promise. Oh dear. Oh god. I hope this game goes well. Let's get into it, shall we? Okay. We have matched with Mr. Thomas. And I'm very nervous for this one. We've got the bundle. We've got Thunderous Therian. We've got Great Tusk. We've got Goodra. We've got the Weezing Galar. And we've got Gastrodon. So we've got 3 Pokemon there, basically, that my Gothorita is able to trap and get rid of in the back 3. This game, it's gonna hinge on whether I can stop Thunderous. The fact I've gone specially defensive Gabite here is very important because it is literally the best answer I have to Thunderous Therian here. No Lycan Rock is wild. Wild. I've also gone non-item Regieleki, which is fun. But I think my best lead here is probably Vivi, and then we can just U-turn out on whatever the hell is there and see whatever the answer is, basically. If the right response comes in, I can go out into Mo and just get a kill. Like if Gastrodon's there, I get a kill. No Zarude means that I can basically just nasty plot up and be a bit of a dick for a while. So he's not going to know that I don't have an item, by the way, on my Regieleki until, at least I think he's not. I don't know. It's wild. It's going to be fun. I'm not expecting a win this week, by the way. I am not expecting a win in the slightest. So don't even, consider that a factor. That is a sick trainer card. Shout out to Thomas. I love that. So Loki. That is Le Delibord. And we've got Sneasler. So the question is, do I just hit this thing? CC does a big sizable chunk to basically everything here. But it would be very nice to get momentum with a U-turn and see whatever they switch into. The threat of the Gothorita trapping things here is kind of huge. I can eliminate some of the back line from this game just by having Gothorita trap them and either Energy Ball or Psyshock them. So this is very good. I do have answers to bundle. If it's a Scarf bundle, it could possibly be a Scarf bundle. At this point, I think the Vata Loco switch in and not revealing my Scarf is probably the best play for me. I did very heavily consider clicking CC or U-turn there, but okay. Heimdall.
Are you close friends with Heimdall? Because that nose bridges the 9 realms. So many floors like a hotel.
Okay. I'm going to trap this motherfucker. Go for fire spin. See what you want to do to me, mother flipper. So it's not neutralizing gas. It's not levitate. It's the misty terrain. You're going to withdraw again. Okay. Freya. And that is slug. We're going to trap you with the fire spin. So you're going to take the damage. Lefties. Cool. So I am going to out-damage its healing here. Going to go hard into Mo. Which was basically the game plan here. Was to trap the Gastrodon. Then go hard out into Mo. Kill it with 2 energy balls. Or set up a nasty pot and then kill it. So Misty Terrain means I cannot be statused. Which means it can't Scold Burn me. But I don't know if that means I can't rest myself. Step rock. Okay. You get to die then. I get to kill you for free. Yeah, baby. You can't switch out of me. I'm gonna motherfucking finish blow you to the face. After a nasty plot, of course. So this is basically one of the 2 situations I really wanted here. I can set up here, energy ball it, and depending on the set, it dies. You're going to hit me with an earth power. Okay.
Big damage right there. Big damage.
Can also stall it out, but that would be a dick move. So I'm going to energy ball it. This should go down. I am the king of NFEs getting kills in PPL. Goodbye. And no more mist. Cool. Okay, so now we're at +2. You have to go into a big threat to revenge me. I've basically removed one of the 2 obstacles to Volcanion going ham. Take an early advantage in the game. I should be more hype about that than I actually am. That makes me really happy, actually. Shout out to Mo. Had to try and use a Danish letter. Because I was either going to be up against Thomas or Frosted. Both are some of Denmark and Scandinavia's finest. That is Frigg. That is Legudra. I mean, I'm happy to take this thing out with a Psyshock too. I mean, this was the other target for this thing. If you want to try and weaken me here... You're going to knock off? Okay. Ooh, that does damage. So, Psyshock. Oh, that's defensive as Frigg. That is defensive as Frigg. Okay, okay. So it is leftovers. That is probably a max Fizz Def set. I'm gonna go for another one. Screw it. Take me out. My job was to try and weaken this thing and Gastrodon with a Gothorita, so I'm happy to let it go. There was nothing I had to switch in at this point, so I'm happy with this. Very happy with this. You've got to hit me. Knock off. Doesn't kill. We get another Psyshock. Gothorita. Absolute slaying right here. I think because I have a very funky set on this thing with, like, max HP... a little bit of special attack. I did have another variant that had a lot more speed into it. Maybe that set would have been a better idea here. But either way, getting all this damage off is kind of huge. So now there's no electric type here. Oh, there's no ground. Well, there is. There's still the Great Tusk, of course. Yeah. Take me out. Knock off again. Take me out. Oh, big crit right there. Definitely mattered. I think I am going to take a moment just to calc. So Mo, absolutely stellar work right there. So a +2 Psyshock. Yeah, that's defensive. It's probably max with lefties. Yeah, that's probably max with lefties. Does that mean Sneasler manages to kill with a Dire Claw? Potentially not. Which means I am going to go out into Sneasler anyway.
because you didn't bring Le Corvinite. So I am going to take a little bit of Rocks Chip. That's fine. So I can't really work. I think that's probably in range, right? And your Mons left. None of them want this. None of this want this smoke. So the U-turn won't kill. It's probably potentially sacking this. Do I Diaclaw here, though? Do I Diaclaw? Or do I click the U-turn for the momentum? I think I Diaclaw. You're going to withdraw? Okay. Because Diaclaw is kind of free. Heimdall comes back. Whose nose, of course, bridges the 9 realms. I get to see an item on this thing too. So get the Diaclaw. Does nothing. It's Rocky Helmet. We don't get any other hacks. That looks about right. It looks defensive to me. As in, like, max defensive. I don't really have a switch into this boy at this point. Maybe I'll just go ready. I mean, let's be real. My switch here has to be Vata Loco. It has to be Vata Loco. And I have to be prepared to now click the Steam Eruption button. Psybeam. Wow. That is wild. I love that. That's tech for Sneasler. I love that. Hell yeah, Thomas. That's amazing. I love that so much. Oh, I love random tech. I think I've just got a Steam. But Gudra probably comes in here. Do a Fire Spin. A Fire Spin into Protect does work. Yeah, screw it. I could really do with getting some rocks up at some point. You're going to withdraw again. Thor. So we're going to get some Fire Spin damage off. So I brought Miles here. Again. I brought Miles specifically as a switch into this thing. This thing very well might be U-turning on me here. Also, Volcanion is doing a great job of forcing damage onto my opponent's team. So Vata Loco is going to switch out. The spicy drink is getting countered off our face. And Miles is here. We're going to take rocks. Psychic. Cool. Forcing damage onto me. That looks specs to me. I'm going to rocks. Yeah, that looks like a specs Thunderous. So rocks here forces it basically to play a bit more conservative. You are going to withdraw it here, which is fine by me. Odin. That's the Tusker. Booster. Attack booster. Right, I'm going to click Dragon Tail here. Because, quite frankly, I don't have a switch to this thing. You can spin on me all you want, but I'm Dragon Tailing you out because I do not want that booster. I mean, it probably kills me with Earthquake here, to be honest. But I'm at least going to force it to do something to me. If it spins, I spin it. Okay. Maybe I should have terrored there. We'll get some rough skin on it. Okay. Might be in a bit of trouble right here. Cooking glue. Right. This is where the game becomes a little bit difficult. So my Rillaboom is defensive AF. And I only do about 50% to it here. So I kind of have to Swords Dance. Yep, you're going to withdraw. Okay. So at least I force it out. Heimdall. So you're going to take Rock's Chip. I'm going to get some health back. You're going to replace my terrain. I don't mind that, baby. You can do that to me all you want. Now, I know I don't do anything to this thing now. But, and this is a very big but, I do get a free U-turn. Which obviously isn't going to do much, but a +2 U-turn at this point is quite important, because it will put this thing over a threshold. Any chip onto this thing right now is kind of big, especially considering its helmet. Now I'm slowly wearing into range of a iron bundle, of a Sneasler sweep, so I'm willing to risk a little bit of chip onto my... Oh, you're gonna withdraw. You don't want this smoke. So that's Thor. That's this thing. Okay. Well, I don't think this lives. And if it does, then... Oh, it does! Oh, that's irritating. Okay. I could go ready here. Ready. Ready forces damage onto Great Tusk. Forces 50% onto Tusk. Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Screw it. I'm pretty sure this Thunderous Therium is Choice Specs. And I'm pretty sure of that because the psychic damage it did... Have I got the right set here? No, I don't. Look. Oh, I might have missed out something there. Oh no. Yes, that's not specs. May have made a mistake, gang. We are going to kill it. Acrobatics. But yeah, as I say, I do force damage onto something here. I did just reveal the acrobatics there. Do I want to force damage onto Tusk? Because if I acrobatics here, it does put it into range. And I don't have a switch, really. So, Odin. That is Tusk. I think I'm in a good position right here. A very good position. But I'm trying to think. If I force damage onto this thing... If I force damage onto this thing, it does put it closer in range for me. I know I outspeed it. And I know that my acrobatic does a significant amount of damage. My other option is to obviously switch out into Louis, but this thing now becomes in range of a grassy glide without having to sword stance up in its face. So, I think if I just hit it again here, I'm sniffing the end game. So I'm willing for damage on this. I'm willing to do that. Close combat. Okay. So, as I say, I'm willing to do that. I'm willing and able to get some damage onto you, baby. So now I go out into my Sneasler. Or do I? Yeah, I go Sneasler. I'm pretty sure my Diaclaw doesn't kill from here, but I just need to be 100% sure. Yeah, it does like 21 to 24.7, and like that's at -1. That's assuming no, like yeah, it's not killing me. What if I U-turn here? It's probably going for another close combat. It's probably going for another close combat. I don't think I can risk a hard switch here. I think I've got an end game. I think I just lock into CC at this point. You are going to withdraw, okay. As I say, I think locking into CC is fine. Heimdall comes back. It's going to take rocks. It's also going to take the CC to the face. It's nothing. Turn there would have been nice. I figured he'd let that go down though. So mist is gone. So I got one switch really. It's very forced. The risk to reward here, because I got that wrong, is really bad. What I'm going to do, and it's going to sound silly, I'm going out into King Louis. And I do have a reason for this, and I promise I do. Toxic. Now I'm gonna click U-turn. Psyching you out, bro. Frig. This should die to this. Oh, it doesn't. That's actually okay for me, though, I think. Is it, though? I can go VV, yeah. I think it is fine. Because I'll get the health back. And I can lock myself into Diaclaw here. Could just go for U-turn again. And then if I go for U-turn though, he lets this go down and goes out to Wheezing on whatever I... It's a tough turn. If I go Diaclaw, he goes Tusk afterwards. So what is my endgame here? Because quite frankly, I'm struggling. I do have Rilla in the back. I'm nearing closer and closer towards a Scarf CC endgame. I think I U-turn. Yeah, you aren't going to let it go down. Okay. So Sneasler gets a kill. And what this also means is I can force Tusk in. Or I can force Wheezing in. Yeah. I can force Wheezing in to take Chip. Which is kind of what I need. I need to force Wheezing in. So we go back to King Louis. So we can take Leftovers and Terrain. Which I believe I should still have another turn or two. Remember, we are BizDef as well. That Wheezing, if it comes in, which I think it probably does here. That Wheezing, if it comes in, obviously resets the terrain. And then forces the Great Tusk. Double. Or I am happy, like, very happy to just U-turn around on that Wheezing and slowly chip away at it with Stealth Rocks and the gradual chip. I know U-turn does like basically like the square root of F4. Time doll. So more rocks chip. I think this has to be a U-turn click every single time. I think it's got to be a U-turn click every single time though. Like, because I can't give... I cannot give this wheezing... I can't even articulate. This game is so high level. It's thrown me for a loop, man. Yeah, it's got to be a U-turn click every single time. Because at least then I can guarantee I'm coming in on the wheezing. And if this thing wants to toxic me now, I can just click Steam Eruption. Gunk shot, that's damage. Quite a lot of it. No poison, you can't status me. So I get the free Steam Eruption now. And why am I Steam Erupting? I'm pretty sure that Bundle lives a Steam Eruption. I think, as painful as it is, I've got a Fire Blast. Yeah, I got a Fire Blast. This has been a mind game. Like, this is one of the highest level games I've been a part of in a long... Well, I say that, but all of PDD was crazy mind games. Okay, we have the terrain. Does this mean we have the victory, though? Odin's here. Question. How do I see this game out? My glide only does about 56% to bundle. Oh, that's on mystery terrain. No, on grassy terrain, it's a roll in my favor. How do I guarantee this? I'm gonna lock into Scarf Bundle endgame. I'm gonna lock into Scarf Bundle endgame. Oh, I was about to say, there's no way we live that. That would have been crazy. Okay, so Rillaboom. I glide. Because I'm pretty sure... Oh, yeah, -1. -1. And we get to glide. That's down. That's tossed down. Is that it? Is that it? It depends. It fully depends on what bundle set this is. Because there is still a chance where a Specs bundle lives this grassy glide after rocks if it's got the right investment. There is fully well a world where that happens. It's taken rocks. It can still live this hit. It's got the grassy berry, so it does live. Rindo berry, freeze dry. This is the scariest fucking thing I have ever had to do in my entire life. I have to go into Volcanion and click an 85% accurate move to win. If I hit this, the game is mine. If I miss it, the game is Thomas's. There are so many stipulations that can happen on this one move. He can freeze me. He can crit me. I don't know if a crit will kill me, though. I will just double check that. From my range, I'm pretty sure I live this. Yeah, it does like 33 point... Oh, I really hate having to click that. 85. 95. Steam Eruption. I gotta click Steam. I don't know how much investment... Freeze dry. Yes! Does it kill? Yes! Get in. Let's go. Big 1-0 victory against an incredible opponent in a very high level game. Come on! SPL ain't got nothing on me, baby. Who needs a Great Tusk, an Iron Bundle, when you've got a baby Goth? Let's go! Woo! Wow. First off, great game, Thomas. What a game. I am so happy with that. Like, I'll be honest, I think even if the hacks had happened and I'd lost that, I would have still been incredibly happy. But Jesus Christ, what a game. Thank you so much for being my opponent here. That was incredible. I am absolutely buzzed. I've not been very well recently. My voice has only just recovered, and I've had a stomach bug and some food poisoning. It's been a time. But yes, I am incredibly happy to have that game. That was incredible. I am so happy. Gothorita absolutely claiming lives, by the way. Absolutely slaughtered that Gastrodon and that Goodra. Like, I am so impressed. But thank you very much for watching. That is a big W. And that puts us to 2-1, baby. Thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Let's go.